freaking man shit right there, dude. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh! Is that seawater? Look at this, dude. This is the most disgusting car I've ever touched. Exciting day, very exciting day. Kind of been waiting for these things for a little while, and I talked to you guys last episode about all the CAD design and where all of those things were coming from and how we're designing the radiator and the fuel cell and just all of that stuff. That stuff is what is here. So the car is back from Irwindale. We are back from SEMA and finally starting to refocus on this. Alex stripped all the body panels off and we have some exciting stuff here. Radiator from PWR, fuel cell from FuelSafe, and the clutch from ACT. And it's a little bit different with this clutch because the input shaft of the Weddle transaxle, forgot what it was like Oldsmobile, I don't know what it is, but not the standard GM 26 or 29 spline. It's a little bit different, so we had to get a custom clutch, and ACT went ahead and like even got the center hub broached specifically. They don't have the tooling for that, but you know what? They said, yes, we'll take care of you, Matt, and they did. And yeah, the center hub, look at that thing. That's some strange splines there. That is not traditional GM, but they worked with Weddle and they knew what they needed to do, and this clutch will bolt right to a Weddle flywheel. I think it's a Tilton flywheel or something, and it'll bolt right on the engine. So that'll be something once I need to actually kind of push this forward and get the real gearbox and get rid of the mock-up to make sure that's all gonna work. So I owe Weddle some information, some gear selection, so I should probably get that to them early next week. The radiator and the fuel cell. Let's just open these up and get right to it, because all I want to do is open them up and start looking.
Oh no!
No!
Not this.
Peanuts! Oh man. Yes!
Oh, I did not even know. Good, dude.
Wow.
Hold this over.
You are a straight, well, hold on, there's more things here, more things. Yeah, oh, yep, the fuel pump box. Straight archaeologist. Wow. Holy moly, dude. Yeah, knife it. I don't even have a knife. Don't scratch it, dude. Don't scratch it. Yes.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is how you get the bladder in and out and work on it right from the bottom. And then we'll put some rib nuts in here so that the bladder stays attached to, or the boxes, the two halves stay attached together, then it can come in and out of the car. And this mounts to the chassis like where the 1,000,000 plate normally mounts.
Oh, I'm so excited about not having to like squeeze the bladder into a hole this big.
And also, one fuel pump.
Yeah.
One Aeromotive brushless fuel pump.
Yeah.
How amazing. Because the current C6 has 3 pickups plus a Aeromotive brushless supply. So it's a lot of fuel pump. This is, wow. And then these holes here are what actually mounted into the chassis. We'll see how it fits. Is that not a hole? Yeah. Wow, look at that thing. Look at this freaking fitment on the cross member. Wow. Yeah, okay, yeah, we need some light in here. Oh, dude, see, it's perfect because by the time you put that giant dash 16 fitting in there, you know, and you want to have room to run wiring and run fuel lines and all that down. Wow. Ain't that something? So inlet here, the fill tube, this gets mounted about here-ish, and we'll have just enough room for a 90-degree piece of aluminum. This will go down and then probably 90 into the top of the tank right here. Then that way there's still room to pull the steering rack in and out, and all this will exist underneath the radiator. It's perfect, dude. And the cross member can drop right straight down out the bottom. Okay, know what we need for connecting this. Some 2 1/4 silicones and some aluminum. I'm gonna get that on order and then we're gonna start messing with the radiator. But you already know where to go. Boom, done. God, fiber makes it too easy. Too good, guys. 45-degree bend, 2 1/4. The next thing, oh my goodness. Look at this radiator. Holy moly. Spall brushless fans, which is why the shroud is as thick as it is, because you can see that the fan sits inward to the shroud up against the radiator. Baddest fans out there. Radiator mounted water pump. So this is the Mazier flange for a Mazier radiator mounted water pump. It's gonna mount right to the radiator, so you save a ton of weight on plumbing, right? So you'd be like -16 or -20, bung, fitting, line, bung, remote mount the water pump, all that's gone. Water pump gets mounted directly here, which is why the shroud is clearance for that. -10 for the expansion tank, like plumbing going back to the expansion tank. Fill for the radiator cap, but this is a non-pressure cap, like it's just a completely sealed system on this because we'll run an expansion tank elsewhere, which is what this is for. And then the mounts. So this right here, this is all PWR's like own design for the rubber mounting system, similar to what we did on the C6, but on the C6 we just used like, what are they, like PCV valve, rubber grommet, PCV grommet that was perfect size for what we did. But this is all PWR with the mounts that go to the chassis, as well as the rear one that will end up going to the firewall and has the same rubber mounting system all on the bottom of it. This is a serious freaking radiator. All right, let's put it in. Where the tab goes to under there is 2 of like the sheet metal screws that hold in this crashable structure. They're like the removable kind of screws that are here, all of these. So we'll take those 2 screws out, put 2 6mm riv nuts in, and then it gets 2 riv nuts going to the firewall underneath there. PWR, you guys are insane. Yeah, look, just enough room in here for the filler to drop right into the top of the cell. This here, the fuel filler, we will make, Chris is gonna make a bracket that mounts to the radiator, like right here. And yeah, it'll be mounted to the radiator itself. Okay, Alec just removed this self-tapping hardware stuff and tapped the frame rail, this big thick cast structure here, because it's very, very thick, to 6mm, and now the radiator will be able to fit right on those brackets. So we're gonna put it in, and then we need to get this marked on the firewall, and to do that we might have to pull the fuel cell out. So we just wanna get the radiator in there and see what it looks like. And then this is the water pump here. The bracket is perfectly square. Wow, it's like these CAD guys knew what they're doing, dude. Chris and PWR engineers are badass. The water pump, I need to see what the water pump on there. All right, set it on there, dude. Let's see.
It goes this way.
Yeah, it goes that way.
Ooh.
Wow.
Essentially it.
Wow. Yeah, dude, look at the freaking fitment of this thing. Far from off the shelf, dude. Crazy. All right, so there you can see that's the rear mount up against the firewall, up in there. And yeah, that's what we need to figure out, how to mount to the firewall. So we'll probably have to take the fuel cell out to get in there. Yes, sir. Oh wow, you didn't even drill a hole in the Safecraft, dude. Oh, yeah, there's a thing there. But yeah, time to close the hood and really see how it fits with the fill. Oh man. Oh wow. It's perfectly in the freaking pocket in there. Oh!
Yes, it's been a minute since we worked on the car. Matt's been ordering a ton of stuff. We got the radiator put in the car. Here's some of the little things, some steel standoffs. So this will be underneath the box here. I mean the footbed. So what we're gonna do is like have some M6 bolts coming out floor, Loctite those to these standoffs, and then these will stay with the car, and then it'll be nice and super simple to get this thing mounted up now that it's all ready and positioned right. So what I've done here is create a very simple template matching the contour of the footbed, squared up the holes, you can see them here, and because I already made a mark in the same exact shape inside of the chassis, we can go ahead and lay the template into the chassis to mark out our holes so that we can get drilling into the floor. So it looks like this is going to be exactly in the right position that we wanted it to be. Still nice and square here based on our marks. I'm gonna have to throw the standoffs in the lathe to get the height just right here so that this is nice and flush with the floor. Then I can go ahead and mount up the front two holes. So I've got all 4 of the standoffs laid down to be the right length so that when you lay the footbed on it, it's gonna lay on flat. Let's do a test, shall we? So now that the footbed is completely bolted into the chassis, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is grab our Momo seat, throw it into the car, get it where it should be positioned, and sitting there, make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing when you're looking at the footbed and it's all squared up. Because again, I did leave a little bit of wiggle room in the mounting holes so that if it doesn't look good when I'm sitting in the car here, I can sort of shift it around and make it look good. So there it is from the driver's seat. You can see that this guy is mounted solidly. Put your foot on the dead pedal without this thing shifting around all crazy, and it looks nice and square in here. So we got these cool grommets from Seals It. This is going to be to pass the shifter cables through. So right here at the bottom of this panel is going to be a direct straight shot through the intake manifold, and then the cables will go to the transmission. So what we're going to do is cut the stud off and get this guy mounted as low as possible, and I'll show you guys that process. We got the holes cut out here. They're 1.5 inch holes, which is a little bit larger than the size of the grommet here on the back side. So now that that is cut open, this guy slides right on in the perfect position for these shifter cables to run right through there. What I want to do is actually use 3mm hardware, drill the holes, the 6 holes, and then tap it. Since we don't really have any 3mm riv nuts or the tooling to do that.
Check in cable length. Look at them through Alex's sweet little hole there. The cables are going to be running down on top of the valley. Even though this is not the intake manifold that we're going to be using, it's going to be a similar style. There'll be room underneath it. So that is the plan, that it runs underneath. One thing that I am a little worried about is how close the headers are going to be to that, but we'll just cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. This is hooked up. This is where you make the mount that will pick this up to hold it. The only thing is the reverse cable, I think I got the wrong throw. There's like a inch throw, like 2-inch throw, 3-inch throw, and I think I got 3-inch for both of these, and I believe that the reverse needs a 2-inch throw based off the lever. But I think that the primary shift cable here is gonna be right. But yeah, this is new. These Weddle transaxles is a different thing for me. Shift cable's different thing, so learning. Alec is getting that all hooked up here. Boom, okay, that's right. Yep. And you see right here, this is what I mean about the throw.
This part.
This is just, this needs to be up here. So
right.
It just needs to be this is like a 3-inch, right? Which means it has 3-inch here, which means 1.5 inches this way, 1.5 inches that way. Where realistically, this just needs to be further up. Cause right, that maxes out.
Yeah, it's closed.
Yeah,
all the way in.
Cool, so we'll have to get a new one of those. All right, cool. Let me attach this. Here, hold the cable. Let me bang some gears real quick, dude. Let me bang some gears. Oh, that's freaking man shit right there, dude. Oh, yeah. Dude, that feels good. It's so positive.
Like once that slop up there is cleaned up, that'll be fun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everything's loose and it still feels tight. Cable. When they were asking me about that at CarTech, I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about. Because this to the normal off-road guy is like the most normal stuff ever. But to me, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I finished getting the grommet plate installed. This thing is sweet. Sealant makes an awesome product. I wish they made more of these double grommet style plates in like smaller sizes, because the majority of the stuff that they sell is like 5 1/4 or 5 3/4 width. But like for this application, this one was awesome. It's also the only one I could find that was anodized black. Don't know why, but anyways, drilled 6 3mm hole, or excuse me, 2.5 millimeter holes, tapped them to 3, and look at that. This thing looks sweet. We're gonna run the cables out of the shifter, through there, and out back. Hell yeah.